Okay, so I prepared something here for, I think that's not what I was planning. I can display it from here. One of the exercise I planned for today is going to be this one. If you see, I think you have seen it already. So let me also try to open this one. So as you can see, you can change the background by just controlling this, and we will see how to do. And the other one is actually by clicking the button. When you click the button, it changes the background. So yeah, just this is what we are trying to implement, and actually we add also search for the countries. So let's have a note first what we are going to do. Yes, great. Yeah, let me try what's happening here. Markdown extend. Oh, okay. So today we spend most of the time learning about DOM all over again. So it's a kind of revision. Yeah. First, we do the exercises. That is the background color without any button, without event handling, and then we use input, and then we go for the country and add search. Okay. So today all over again what we see how to manipulate the DOM. Manipulating the DOM includes for instance getting DOM elements, creating DOM elements, and also adding some attributes, or just in general modifying the whole DOM. That could be DOM manipulation. So let's do it together. So I think instead I would love to start from scratch, and in that case you will have a chance to look at it. So I can just minimize this, I can close this one, and I can close this one too. But I will take CSS from this code because writing the CSS really takes long time, and I'm not going to spend most of my time writing the CSS part. So I will use the CSS I wrote already some time ago. So how does this actually works? Imagine you've been locked at home for so long and you want to go to somewhere else, but you never know where. So you use your application, this funny application, to figure out where to go. For instance, by just randomly, it says to me, Equatorial Guinea is my lucky place to go. Let's try another more. Bermuda, Israel, Mauritania, and something like this. So yeah, I think when we reach to this exercise, we will talk about it. Okay, let me close this one. Close and back, and let's first start background. First, I think I have to move some of the text because I've been working on this one, so I can just move them there and there will not be a confusion. Okay, another this one also, I can move it there. Countries to visit. Yes. Okay, so let's do something together. So I can call, maybe I think even I can create just a folder and I call it exercises. Inside the exercise, I want to start from that background, body background. It's a funny name, HTML, and I just write HTML like this by now. So body background, and I go for this one, body background dot JS, because I have to have the JS, right? And let's connect these files. So script and the source. I have to have body background this, and then let's check if it's connected. Console.log. Let's change, yeah, that's not, let's change the background color of the body, and let's run this one by using live server. I think it's opened in another, so I have to make this smaller and bring it here and make it the other, yeah, and I have to control shift to that, and let's see what we have on the console. Console, as you can see, it's connected. Let's change the background color of the body so you can see that. Okay, do you remember how we generate a color last time? If you remember, we said const generate a color, hexa color. Let's just call it hexa color or RGB color. Yeah. Oh, sorry. It seems this is the skeleton of a function, because I just want you to see again how to write this function. So we just declare some kind of float, and then we just store hexa colors like string. It could be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F, because hexas are usually from 0 to 9 and from A to F. Great. So how many? Most of the time it looks like this: 1, 2, 3, E, F, 0, something like. So it has to be 6 digits for the red, for green and blue. Yeah. If you change, for instance, this to maybe D, the color might be different. Maybe 0. Okay. E, F, 1, 2, 3, 0. For instance, this actually, the color of this is almost similar to, okay, this, I have one extra. So it should be only 6. So we go how many times? For let I is equal to 0, I less than 6, and I plus plus, just a regular loop. Console.log I, let's call this function, by the way, generate hexa color. As you can see, I am printing out 0 to 5, but it doesn't make, but I want to get the value of this. How? We should use some kind of random thing. Let, I can write it outside first. Let index is equal to mat.floor. You remember last time this is what we did, mat.random times string.length. Let's try this. Let's see the value of this. Console.log index. I'm trying to print out now y mat.floor mat.random. Oh yeah, I didn't close the random method. Yeah, have you seen now, guys? Do you understand where these numbers are coming? I want you to tell me, because
Yeah, it makes sense a bit.
so these are the index, right? The index, one of the index. So if it's one of the index, can we slice out one of the value? Let's try console.log string and then index, because for a string also we can take out the value. As you can see now, the index was 7, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The index was 7 and the value is also 7. Great. So it goes the same. Then instead of printing out, actually we can declare let hexa with empty value, and then instead of just printing these values out, actually we can hexa equal to hexa plus this value. Now if you see console.log hexa is growing every time. Have you seen? First it was 1 and then 8 come and then f, as you can see 1, and then finally we got a value, this value. This is actually a real hexadecimal number. So but we don't have the hash, you know, since there is no hash, when we return the hash plus the hexa, so we don't need to also printing it every now and then. Instead we just print out this value, console.log generate hexa color. Have you seen it? But if you refresh it now and then, you will get different value. How was it? Now we have this function and we can use this function whenever we want. Great. Now let's work on the DOM. So what do we have? We just like to change the background, right? Yes. But before that, I want to also show you about intervals. There are already a built-in functions, higher order functions, which are available for you to use. Set interval. This set interval takes two parameters, parameter 1 and parameter 2. This one is actually a higher order function, and this is actually the duration. So let's, what does that mean? So you can pass any anonymous function, something like this, and the duration could be in seconds. This means 1 second. This is in milliseconds, so 1000 millisecond means 1 second. So let's try to print something, console.log every second. Every second, have you seen? Every second it's printing this. But this doesn't even make sense, right? How about if we just simulate second? Let's start let count is equal to 0. But every second we want to count plus 1. And we like to console.log count. This should behave like a timer. Have you seen? Yes. So we have initial, our initial was 0, and then this set interval, we gave the duration 1 second. Every second it is adding 1. No big deal, right? There is no big deal. So here we learned about set interval, and there is a clear interval, so we have to give this a name actually, let interval, because if you don't clear your interval, it will never stop. So clear interval, and you pass your interval, and it will get cleared out. Great. So let us set timeout. It has two parameters similar to set interval and duration. For instance, let me give the duration 3 seconds. It's already now happening, so let me comment it out. Console.log I will show up after 3 seconds. Have you seen? I will show up after 3 seconds. That means actually it's a plan. For instance, you may give some command for the door to close at 6. So it is a plan. So in the future. So let's uncomment this, and we should see the output after 3 seconds. After 3 seconds, we should see here. Yeah, I will show up after 3 seconds. Great. So now we learn how to use set interval and set timeout. Great. Now we can make use of this this set interval to change the background. Great. So we can keep this code, or we comment out, or we can take it as a resource sometime later, because when we push it, you will get it there. Do we have a resource file? I usually put some of important code is resource.js. It's just my convention. Okay, great. Now I don't need any kind of timer here. I can oh no, I'm in the wrong file. Please don't do that. Let's get back to here. So now, how do we get the body, guys? You know how to get the body, right? Const body document dot get. Actually, just body is enough. Document dot bodies. If I want to change the background, body dot style background. Oh no. And then I can call generate hexa color. Oh yeah, but you can even just practice first by giving it some red color, right? We managed to change the background, as you can see, red. Yeah, but instead, actually, just let's make use of our hexa color generator, the function we made a while ago. So now if I refreshed every now and then, it may change. But I want to use the set timeout to do this. So what you should do, set sorry, it's not set timeout, set interval. Set interval. Actually, this Visual Studio is so smart, even it just generates boilerplate code for you. So how it goes, the set interval keyword, it's a keyword, and this callback function and the duration, but let's write it together step by step. Set interval, and then you need this arrow function, and the duration we want is actually 1 second. So where shall we put our code? Instead, this code should be inside here. Now, as you can see, your background is changing. If you make this small, it will really be fast. Have you seen that? It's really too fast. Yeah, now it's 1 second. Right? So we managed to do this. but I think it has also date. How we generate a date. Now let's generate another function which will help us to generate a date. Okay, this is disturbing, so let's comment it out and let's create a function, show date time function. But before that, JavaScript just provide us this new date. If you write new date, something like this constructor, it gives you such kind of format. And from this, actually, you can store const now. Now is just a variable new date. And if you something now, what's the day today? Get date. If you go get date, yeah, actually it's 14. It's the 14th, right? The 14th of December. Okay, now dot month, get month. Yes, and it will give me something like this. So it's the 11th month. Okay, now dot get here, and it should be, oh yeah, so instead much better is full year 2020. So we can make use of this constructor to generate time. Get hour. What's the hours now? As you can see now, the time is actually, yes, it's right. So let's see also the minutes. Get minutes. So as you can see, it's plural. JavaScript is really so nice, but why get minutes is 9? I can see, but it doesn't really matter. Get, you can even get seconds. Yeah, so we can make use of this to generate the time. So we can copy this code and take it there. Copy, and I can clean it here. How do I clean this? I don't need this, and I can put this const date and const month, const year. Is that? No, this one is the correct one. So const hours, const minutes. So we don't need this one, right? We remove this. No, don't do that. Okay, so now if we want to return minutes, it doesn't look good. Okay, if I want to show some kind of format, today is for instance 14th December, and if I want to show some kind of 20, let's try. Or maybe we can show something 14th and 11, and actually it's not the 11, it's the 12th, right? And 2020. Yes. Yeah, I think it's just a division, but I should have write it in as, don't follow this one. Okay, so actually this gives us it should be +1 because it counts from 0, so it gave me 11, so it should be +1. So to get that format, return what's the month. Let's go for string interpolation. That's very good, right? Do you like string interpolation? That's very fancy and very good way of injecting your variables. Yes, at least I just love it. Okay, date, month and year. And so let's see what we can get from this. Show date time. Yeah, it showed me something like this. I forgot to pass this slash, and then if I want time, I just give it some space and the hours, and then of course we need this and minutes. So as you can see, some kind of, we don't need that space. Do you see this? I think my time is here and we are getting something like this. Okay, so if you want to show this there, let's take that at the top. We don't need. Okay, we have two functions now. We don't need this anymore, but we can. Now let's turn this on. Let's turn on because it has been like that. We managed to change the background, but we didn't change the text here at the center. So body.text content is equal to show date time. Yeah, have you seen it there? But it's at the top. Maybe we have to have some wrapper. We can create wrapper inside here. For instance, div and class or ID. Even I don't have to, I can call it wrapper. But it's better to have a wrapper. I call it wrapper. And I call that honest wrapper document query selector. We have learned that, right? And I just select it by wrapper, by its name, by its class name. And now I can just wrapper dot style dot font size. Let's make it very big, 60 pixel. Why we didn't affect wrapper? And let's stop this effect first because it's disturbing, right? Actually, we put it inside, so yeah, because as you can see, we put it in the body. So instead, we should put the show date time inside the wrapper. So wrapper dot text content is equal to show date time. Yeah, now we are getting this. And let's make also, let's have this the body to be, let's apply some CSS. Body dot style and display flex, and body again, body dot style, justify content center. By now we should see where is our value. I don't see it. Body dot style, yeah, because I have to have a string flex. Yeah, now it's at the center, and we can also give it display body dot style align items. I hope you know flex, so center again. Yeah, but it doesn't gives you any it doesn't move after I assign this one, because we should give it a height first for the flex align items to work. Style and the height, I like to give it just 100% view height, and now it will be at the center. Now let's just turn this on. We don't need this one, and yes, a kind of Does it look familiar? Does it look like the example you had, or the exercise, or the demo you had? What do you think?
I couldn't get the date to work. I had pretty much the same code and I just kept getting errors.
Okay, I see. Maybe sometimes you may try to where did you get the errors?
First time it said something about um, not being initialized. Like if
Oh,
I had month was one of my variables for the month name and it said it wasn't initialized, so it wouldn't work. I don't understand what that means.
yeah, it's not initialized means you didn't declare any variable yet.
Oh, but I did. I did. It's lying. And then
Okay.
the other thing was that if I just when you put due date in your console, it immediately like if your console logged it, it immediately appeared in your console. But it does nothing happens when I do it in mine.
Yeah, let's do it here together. Honest, for instance, now, and I just said new date, right? So now I'm storing everything related to now, the snapshot of now. Okay, the snapshot of now is added or stored at the variable now. It's a custom variable. You can call it x, y, z, whatsoever. Just a variable. So the date method, this now is actually an object. It's an object. You can have different objects. Date, time, JS object. If you see, you don't have to remember them. I prefer they on W3 school they put them properly. Where it, yeah, if you see, I think there was somewhere all of the methods together. New date. Yeah, but that's not what I'm looking for. Methods. Yeah, as you can see, get date. Gate, actually I have to share this one with you guys because it has everything you need in the methods and their explanation. So this is really helpful. So for instance, get date means return the day of the month from 1 to 31. Get day, return the day of the week from 0 to 6. It means get day, for instance, it doesn't give me Monday, it gives me some number. So the days are actually from 0 to 6. We have 7 days, right? From 0 to 6. Get full year, it gives us the year. Get hours from 0 to 23. And yeah, these store all. For instance, now .get get date should give me 14, right? Get. But now .get day should give me maybe 1. I think it starts from Sunday 0, and Monday 1, up to again Saturday. Yeah, great. We can format the other format like in a month, December something, but to write that function it will take us long. So let's just move on. This format is enough, but I will give that challenge for you. How about if you want to display this instead of like December 14, 2020 and 18, 20. So do this yourself. Great. Now let's move on to the second part with instead of doing this, how about if we handle it with a button, you know? Okay, so we can create a button ourselves. Is there any comment or something? Let me check. You do not have a second and the time is not changing. Oh, what do you mean by Katarzyna? Oh, the time is not changing. Okay, I can see that. Yeah, Katarzyna suggested that to have seconds. So let's add on our function to change that. Great. So const seconds and now dot get seconds, and if you add seconds here it will change definitely, so we can just put seconds. What?
The interval, the set interval does not contain the
yes
the date.
Yeah, the problem is we set our set interval outside, so we should take it inside again here, and then we can fix it. Have you seen? Because it has to be initiated by the set interval. Every second it has to be replaced. Now as you can see it says 4, so it's not a proper format, so we have to add a condition. If the number is less than 10, we should add extra 0 in front of the number, so something like that. So that's a minor formatting. I hope you can handle that. Okay, thank you, Katarzyna. So let's move on. Now let's talk about, I think even let's stop this thing, or maybe we can work on a different file. If we are working on a different file, okay, I can call this even another event handling. And I want to just copy this and work there. And I want to yes, we don't have to play this, and I can stop it. Okay, so now we're about to work on this one, and I may call it, I may rename this event handling. Event what's an event? At the same time, I would like to ask you, what's an event? Let's start this one, and at the same time I'm waiting for yeah, because
when you click, you generate an event. When you hover, so an event is an action that is sent to the browser so that it can act upon it. For example, like clicking, it's an event.
Yeah. So as you said, we may have different kind of events, right? Mouse events. The mouse events could be, for instance, the clicking, the scrolling, right click, double click. All those are events. And keyboard events. Keyboard events could be key press, key down, enter. Enter could be just again, it's a key down or key press. And key up, there are lots of event types, so you can just Google HTML or JavaScript event types. You just say, I can go again, this is very good one. On change, on click, on mouse over, on mouse out, on keyboard, on load. On load means when the data is loading, actually, those kind of things. Now let's just start a minor thing. Instead of using this, let's change the background by clicking. So to click something, maybe we cannot touch the event at the body. Actually, where's the body? All this area is actually a body, but naturally, or most of the time, we click on button, right? Actually, we can click at anything. Let's try body dot add event listener. This event listener takes two parameters, parameter 1 and parameter 2. Okay, the first parameter is a callback. A callback is that it's a kind of a function. Actually, no, the first parameter is the event type, the click, and the second parameter is the callback. So let's write an anonymous function, something like this. So to know, alert is just something which alert. I am clicked. Let's see. If I click on the body, it should say I'm clicked. Have you seen? I am clicked. I am clicked. Okay, how about if we change this to mouse on, I think mouse over. Yeah, I just over on the, no. Actually, mouse leave is also, okay. Yeah, when it leaves, when the cursor is, or the pointer is out of the body, it is triggered. The event is triggered. Okay, great. So it's a kind of different events. Now let's work on it's annoying event. It's a very annoying event. Let's just click this and destroy this one. So instead of clicking on the body, let's have a button somewhere here and change the background using the button. How can we add a button? We can add the button in two ways, guys. One way is actually adding a button here, just a button after here or inside here. How about if we add just a button, change background color. There should be a button somewhere. I'm expecting.
I think in your coding you put that you change the content of wrapper. So you override button, isn't it?
That
you put the button after the div, no?
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, I removed it using JavaScript. It has been removed here. That's great. Yeah. So how about if I move this a bit down and if I put it here, then it's here next to that, next to the but maybe I want that button to be if I want, I can use just break here. Even the break doesn't help me because I use a flex at the top. The flex is forcing this to be like that. Maybe we can use flex, but okay, body.style flex direction. Now this just CSS, okay, and if we say column, yeah, it changed to something like this. Okay, great. So now let's, by clicking this, we want to change the background, not the. So how do we target the button? Actually, again, we go somewhere here and let's target the button. Honest button. I just call it button, and document query selector, and I have just one button, and query selector is so smart. You can use it using ID, class, or by tag name. Now I chose to use it by tag name because I just have one button, so I just change this to a button. And now I may just take this value, especially the body, inside here, and when it begins, you may see white background, so you may not want that. You may just like to see with some background, right? You just keep one there as a default, but now whenever I'm doing this, it has to change. So we can change the style using JavaScript or using just CSS here. I strongly recommend you to use style, you know, the button. It's not only for the button, for everything, but I was showing you also how what you can do with JavaScript button. I call padding. Let's give it about 15 pixels, and it's now good, looks good. Let's give it a border of radius about maybe 8 pixels, and that might look good. And I do not like the border, then I may remove the border none, and as you can see now, it's even maybe 15 pixel, maybe 25 pixel. So now, and for instance, outline also, again, maybe none. It is not, as you can see now, it looks just clean. Okay, but it doesn't look like in a button, so let's give it a point and the cursor to a pointer. Now we see this hand. Great. Yeah, and you can move all this CSS, for instance, back to for instance, if we don't need the CSS, we just change it to here, style. So how was it like that? So body, I can say the height was 100 VH, that's view height. And what is that? Display flex direction column. And what is this?
Can I ask you a question, very quick one?
Yes.
This style sheet that you're doing on Flex, is it something that you touch on the HTML course? Is it something that you cover, or you don't cover it at all?
No, we don't cover this one.
Okay, because it would be interesting to know about it. Because to be frank, I have no idea about this Flex thing.
Yes.
So it looks very powerful, but
yeah, it's very powerful. But for you to just know about Flexbox, it just doesn't take 2 hours. Or,
yeah, I know it's
okay.
This is one aspect among like manipulation of div, and also I was starting to think regarding the exercise, how can you overlay a window? I think this is like HTML knowledge, obviously you can find YouTube video and thing, or Google it. But I think if we have a structured course for that,
Yeah.
no, it's just a simple question, whether this was something that you touched during the HTML course.
Yes, we touched it during the HTML and CSS course, and this course actually we have again the beginning of January.
Okay, so you did cover that, right? Because
yeah, we did
I
cover.
was asking that because then
yes.
I would be interested, to
yes,
follow the course.
Yes, some of the students who came from the previous course, they covered it. Yeah, some of the students like here in the group, they covered it.
Was it Anna? Or...
Yeah, Anna, and then Kati was in it too.
So, but as I told you, the beginning of the coming January now, there is a course which I am going to teach. That's HTML and CSS, and there is also React. That's why I usually say I want to go with my students when other students come from somewhere. I don't know what they covered, what they have. Yes, JavaScript course needs intermediate level of HTML and CSS. So, but for you, it just take a half an hour. I mean, an hour or 2 hours of W3 school. It just makes you familiar with. But if you guys also interested at some point, even I may give some my time for you, and I teach you about CSS box, CSS Flexbox. But now let's make this thing look good. But what you should understand is what you can write on CSS, you can write on JavaScript. What you can write on JavaScript, you can write on CSS. But if CSS can take care of it, why you write it in JavaScript? Avoid doing that. So from now on, I will write everything related to CSS on CSS. Yeah, that's the point why I'm bringing this here. So justify content, I will make it to center, and align items, and it's going to be again center. And now what's left, I think we don't need this, so I can remove this one, and we will have the same thing what we had before. So even if we have still this, we don't need this. I can remove, and I'm removing every CSS from my, because then what will be the role of the CSS if JavaScript is doing the CSS dot wrapper, and then we put here, what was that, font size is 60 pixel. I remove this. Okay, I think we are done with the second exercise. Are you happy with that? But the button for font, you can make also a bit font size 18 pixel. Shall we move on, or shall we have a break? I think
just one question. I mean, did you put the event on the button? Because now I see that the background is changing.
No, because if you refresh it, it has to change. But
okay.
Because
so
the reason why we have a default color, but if we remove this default color, if you refresh it also, it doesn't have anything. You can only change the background by clicking. Have you seen the difference?
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah. So, but maybe if you want something by default, so we should have something like this, and then whenever we click it, it has to change. How about if you don't have any question, let's have a 15 minutes break, and let's come back to the other two exercises.
Okay.
Great. I will see you after 15 minutes. That means we will be back at 7. Yeah, see you everybody. See you.